Somebody ring the DINKSTER! So I've looked at some of our good pal Robert Rodriguez's kids films before, with classics like Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
He ruined my dream!
And Shorts.
Your booger's warm!
But now it's time to cover perhaps his greatest work to date, Spy Kids 3D, Game Over. I've been meaning to watch this one on here for ages. It is so good. I haven't seen Spy Kids 1 or 2 in like 20 years, but I don't think you really need to enjoy this masterpiece. All I remember is something about thumbs. Spy Kids 3 has a stacked cast. Like, did Robert just use all of the blackmail he collected on everyone he knows all at once? Sylvester Stallone, George Clooney, and Boots from the Dora movie. I am so excited for this. Junie Cortez starts us off by explaining through narration that he's now a private detective, having since retired from the secret agent business, likely from the trauma caused by being exposed to these things. He now goes about saving up money to get his hands on the biggest virtual reality game in history, Game Over, which sounds like a very counterproductive name for a video game, but hey, whatever.
Game Over, the biggest video game to ever be created, period.
Hey, I gotta respect that level of confidence. I have to say though, for the supposed greatest video game of all time, this is a surprisingly underwhelming amount of people. If anything, it looks more like a Starbucks opening in the morning.
What you doing?
I love that you're just meant to accept all these things that they throw at you without thinking about it too hard. Like, you see that? Yeah, okay.
Hello, Junie.
Mr. President?
Speaking of.
Now it's time for you to be a big boy and reinstate.
With all due respect, sir? No.
I don't know how Junie walks around with those massive balls of his. All it takes for this very dumb plot point to be resolved, though, is for Junie to have a personal stake in the matter.
Your sister's missing.
And just like that, he heads straight back to work.
Taking Agent Cortez to games.
Hey, wait a minute.
What do you know about a video game called Game Over?
On the V-Box 720. Both Junie and the audience are given an extremely basic rundown on the game, which basically boils down to...
Once plugged into the game, parents won't even be able to get their children's attention.
Ah, so a normal game then. And it was made by some guy named the Toy Maker, who wants to rule the world or something, because of course he does, and Junie's sister Carmen got stuck inside the game after trying to stop him. This has to be the most subtle inclusion of 3D I've ever seen in a movie. Yeah, so I forgot to mention, if the title didn't make it obvious enough, the major selling point of this movie was its use of 3D, but since it's not 2005 anymore, the copy of the movie I'm watching isn't, thank you Netflix, which means I have to watch it the way it was not intended, the lame, normal version. Boo! And now that he's all set, yep, it's gamer time. Just over 10 minutes into this and we're already in the game. The game over. You see what I mean? It just doesn't work. Hey, did you guys know this is a 3D movie yet? Yeah, me too, buddy.
What the fuck is going on?
How is he?
Yeah, well, he's been in there less than 5 minutes and he's already killed himself, so... Here, Junie has his life counter explained to him as if anyone who has ever even heard of the concept of video games needs that explained.
What happens when it hits 0?
Game over. When you run out of life, you lose. No replays, no restarts.
This game kinda sucks, to be honest. Hey, did you guys know this is a 3D movie yet?
Who are you?
I'm Junie Cortez, ex-secret agent of the OSS.
The OSS is a secret organization that no one can know about. Hi, I'm Junie. I work for the OSS.
This person thinks he's level 5 material.
So I hear.
Uh-oh, badass alert.
Implementation of any form of hack code or cheat boost will trigger an immediate game over and permanent evac from the game.
Not a single human being on the entire planet would ever use those words like that. You cheat and you get banned. That's all you have to say. So now he's off to the moon.
Okay, Junie, we can no longer be of assistance.
What assistance?
Fucking got him! These guys explain to him that he's permitted to bring any one person from the real world into the game to help him.
Pros, superior intellect. Cons, physically disabled.
What? So, in spite of, you know, that, Junie picks his grandpa, who I assume was not informed of this whatsoever. What the fuck? Where am I? How did I get here? Is this the moon?
The toy maker is here?
You know him?
I've been hunting him down for 30 years, Junie.
Well, that's convenient. And then his grandpa gets a power-up that puts him in like a shitty CG suit so he can walk again. Hey, did you guys know this is a 3D movie? While his grandpa abandons him to go play with virtual butterflies, Junie finds a robot fighting arena on the moon. Saying this plot out loud is making me feel like I'm slowly losing it.
We need to get to level 2.
Well, you came to the wrong place.
And it's here we're introduced to another major character in this game.
Wait a minute. Am I fighting her?
Love interest. Love interest. You know, normally I would be hyped as hell for a mech battle, but this is just the ugliest freaking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Hi. I'm Junie.
Judy, what the fuck, bro?
Hi. I'm Demetra.
She seems nice.
Help.
Eventually, Junie decides to stop being a little bitch and fight back. Hey, did you guys know this is a 3D movie? And eventually, he wins somehow. And she just gets sucked into hell, I guess. You know what would make this movie better right now? Sylvester Stallone. And you know what would make it even better than that? 4 Sylvester Stallones.
What do we want? Not if we control their minds. Oh, we could, like, start the world over again and cure it of its diseases. We could begin anew.
He's really showing off his acting range here. It's a real step up from...
And the real game will begin.
Hold on to your joysticks, boys.
Excuse me?
You're the guy.
I'm the who?
The guy. The guy from the poster.
And apparently now there's some prophecy bullshit that some guy named The Guy will Leroy Jenkins them to victory through the final level. Although this guy, being the absolute weapon that he is, won't believe Junie unless he wins a mega race featuring... I didn't even know what those are.
Yeah, push it. It's a turbo boost.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What a fucking dick. Luckily, his grandpa finally decides to do something useful, saving Junie before he can get game ended. Also, I can't be the only one bothered by the fact that everyone else playing this game is like a super young kid, and then there's just this super old dude just here, right? Grandpa, where are you taking him? And now it's time for Junie to unleash his gamer skills.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Do you honestly think you're fucking funny? Seriously.
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
Spectacular.
Damn, boy! Oh, fucking go!
And after the most exhilarating race sequence ever put to film, Junie wins by crossing the finish line with something that isn't even a vehicle, but okay. So now he's won the respect of these guys, in spite of the fact that they straight up tried to kill him about 5 minutes prior. What the hell was that?
We all win.
With my strength.
My brains.
My cool.
Your what? So finally, they stop wasting time and make their way to level 4. And it's here they run into the programmers of the game, which are a bunch of dudes in shitty Matrix cosplay who have the ability to send them all the way back to level 1.
I don't have time for that.
But it looks like it finally paid off having an adult man in a game for children.
Let's see what you really look like, huh? Very unimpressive.
Computer nerds.
Okay guys, you don't have to be mean about it. Junie comes across an extra life pack, and instead of using it on himself like he clearly needs because he sucks so much, he makes the ultimate Chad move and offers it to Demetra.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
I'm here for the great prize behind level 5. It'll save my family from poverty.
Wow, okay, just dump that on us right now, why don't you? Way to sour the mood.
Attention gamers!
Ah, you finally said it, as if this wasn't painful enough. So now Junie and Goggles have to fight each other, because why else would they give us this tragic backstory so suddenly? Not one to back down from a challenge, Junie bravely accepts the... Even Junie knows that's bullshit. Before he can be finished off for good, Demetra steps in to fight for him in an epic battle that lasts approximately 2 seconds. Well, that was an excellent use of a life pack.
Demetra, game over.
Okay, wait, here's the best line in the movie. Wait for it.
You never even got an email address.
Gets me every time. With that out of the way, the group is free to progress to the next level, where Carmen is supposedly being held. Huh. That was easy. So their next challenge is to cross a giant lake of lava.
What do you think, Grandpa?
Difficult.
Wow, thanks, Grandpa. Their solution is to surf across it. Where have I seen that before?
Rip that wave, Junie.
Back at the base, they're only just realizing that putting the grandpa in the game was a bad idea since he wants to beat the shit out of the toy maker. So they do the only thing they can.
We have to drown them.
In spite of them making it all this way together, it's only now that these assholes suddenly suspect Junie and turn against him.
Now you're gonna see just how fast that counter of yours can count backwards.
You have to go through me first. Game Boy.
Ow!
We all know that you're not the guy.
He's not the guy. I am.
And you are?
I'm the guy. The real guy.
Elijah, why? What did they promise you?
Cake.
Yeah, so that's it, by the way. He's just dead. Yep.
Oops.
I never even got his email address. But then, oh my god, she's back!
Junie, who is this? This is Demetria, my girlfriend. My friend.
Nice one, dude.
Junie, she's not real.
They are real to me!
Yeah, so it turns out Demetria is like a hologram or something, to the dismay of all the 10-year-old boys watching this.
She's the deceiver.
Wait, but then who the fuck was that then? Anyway, so Sly congratulates them on beating the game even though they didn't really do anything. And then they have to escape before they get trapped inside. And it's Demetria who makes the heroic sacrifice to stay to keep the door open. But she can't leave anyway, so I mean, really it's just a common courtesy.
Here's our email addresses, just in case.
Terrific.
And so they finally escape the game. Except we still have like 15 minutes left, so...
There were two switches side by side. One switch shuts down the game, but the other releases the toy maker.
What? Why?
Who was the idiot who designed that?
Thank you! So now the toy maker's in the real world, and Junie and Carmen go to confront him and his army of giant monkey robots.
Quick, put your glasses on. It's the only way you can see what's really happening.
Okay, but why? So Carmen's immediate response is to call in every single member of their spy family in a scene that will probably only make sense if you've seen the other two movies, which I have not. Hey, did you guys know this is...
Incoming.
What the actual fuck is going on right now? But even that's not enough, so then they call in everyone else.
Call in everyone.
I guess these guys weren't doing anything else today and were also in the area because they all pretty much show up instantly. You got those guys from Spy Kids 1, Steve Buscemi on a flying pig.
Somebody call in a loon!
And the part that everyone knows.
Somebody ring the DINKSTER!
Oh man, it's still funny. And then fucking Cody Banks shows up or some shit. There's one last robot on the loose and that's the one containing the toy maker himself. And so Grandpa uses his rocket wheelchair to confront him. What am I saying right now? But as it turns out, he just wants to say that he forgives them for the accident, and just like that, they're friends again, and everyone gets a happy ending.
It's not whether you win or lose.
It's how you play the game.
Stop! Stop it! And yay! That's it! We did it! That was just as traumatizing as I remember. I was reading the trivia for this movie on IMDb out of curiosity, you know, as you do, and I feel I should share with you the fact that all of George Clooney's scenes were done in his own living room in the same afternoon, and he was definitely not wearing anything beneath what we saw. Also, most of the actors in the final scene weren't even in the same room together when they were filming, which honestly does explain why it looks how it does. It's also somehow the cheapest out of all the Spy Kids movies, budget-wise. No way to tell that, right? But I think that's just what makes it as hilarious as it is. Spy Kids 3 has so many iconic moments in it. There's even a channel called DINKSTER Daily that uploads the same exact scene of somebody ring the DINKSTER every day for the past 4 years.
Somebody ring the DINKSTER!
I have so much respect for this man. I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to watch another movie again. They're all going to look like shit in comparison now. Didn't even get her email address. Thanks for watching, guys.